Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining me for Lighthouse Ministries Great Day. I am Evangelist Carmelita McRoy, and I am so grateful that you got to see another year. I am just excited about 2022 and what God is going to do in the lives of the saints because He is going to do some suddenlies, some miracles, some breakthroughs. We've been going through some things since 2020, but God says now, I'm going to give some people a release. You deserve it. And that's what He's going to do. So I thought it would be so befitting if I talked about Mark 5, 25 through 32. Okay? Here it is. I'm going to read this to you, okay? Straight from the word. I'm going to put these eyes on. A large crowd followed and pressed against him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had. Yet, instead of getting better, she grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak. Because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. That's powerful right there. We'll come back to that. Immediately, her bleeding stopped and she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out of him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, who touched my clothes? Turned around in the crowd. Now, you're already crowded, you bumping people, and you said, who touched my clothes? Okay. You see the people crowding against you, his disciples answered, and yet you ask, who touched me? But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet, and trembling with fear, told him the whole truth. He said to her, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. How many of you have been going through, and all you want to hear God say is, go in peace and be freed from your suffering? I'm going to let that sink in right there for a minute. Because there are a lot of people who are going through some things, who've been through some things, especially since 2020. And some of us have been suffering from some things for years, like she was. But then one day you have to say, I'm not going to trust social media, my friends, my family, what I heard. I am going to trust Jesus. I'm going to have faith that he can heal me. If you need healing, why are you still sitting there? Why haven't you prayed? Why haven't you asked God, what do you want me to do? Order my steps. Instead of doubting him, complaining, you're going to have to do just like this woman did, say, when all else fails and when there's nothing else, try Jesus. That's what you need to do today. Try Jesus. He's the only answer to it. When you tried everything else, when you should have tried him first. And that means mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. Everybody's suffering in different things. Everybody is not struggling and suffering just because of a disease or something. There are other areas that people need healing in. Yes, a lot of people need healing in their bodies because of this thing that's going around. But do you know how many people that don't have jobs now, lost their homes or are threatened to lose their homes, cars, children are suffering behind it, losing parents, grandparents. It's so much going on. But we have to have faith in God and have faith that he's going to do it and he's going to heal us no matter what's going on. We have to. This woman suffered for 12 years. 12 years, that's a long time. You know, some of us have been struggling and going through what we're going through. You know why? Because we listen to too many other people. We haven't trusted God. Social media has totally taken over people's lives. People look to social media to answer everything now. And these people on social media got just as many problems as everybody else. I don't understand why people put everything on social media like that's going to heal something. I'm just not understanding it. Because these are people who got as much going on as you. Now I understand the part about people saying, pray for me, I'm going through something right now, pray for my child, pray for, that's fine. But when you on here spilling out a whole lot of stuff, you need to go to God in prayer and talk to him. Not Facebook, not Instagram, not Periscope, whatever ones that you own, I don't know. You need to talk to God. All that getting on there, spilling out everything, spill it out to the Lord and let him answer it. Let him fight your battles. Trust him for once. Don't use him as the B plan. Use him as the A plan, the number one friend, the number uno, the one who woke you up this morning, the one who loved you when nobody else loved you. The one that you may be going through something right now, but he just wants you to trust him so he can show you what he can do. I truly believe in 2022, the people of God are going to see some miracles, blessings. I believe it. Some suddenlies, because we've been through. But if you've been faithful, he's faithful to come through for you. Now look at this. It says that she suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors. And it says a record of medicines and treatments prescribed for illnesses of these sorts. In parallel account, it says here, there were negative statements about physicians, perhaps to defend their profession. But these people did not know what was wrong with this woman. This had been happening for years and years. Just like when you're going through something, everybody can give you a diagnosis for it, whether it's physically in your body or mentally. You know why? Because they ain't meant to. You need to go to God about it. You need to go to him. And it says, although it is needed to be bolstered by physical contact, her faith was rewarded. Instead of the unclean woman making another ritually impure through physical contact, which they would say she would make other people impure, she could have made Jesus impure. It says with Jesus, it was the reverse. The clean Jesus made the ritually unclean, the woman, pure. How many times people trying to tell you, don't do this, don't do that. It's not going to work this way. Don't talk to this person. They're not going to help you. You standing back listening to these people, and God gave you an answer to go to this person about something, and you don't go, and you listen to other people who don't even understand the purpose that God has given you. They don't understand your purpose, what you're supposed to be doing. And I know we're talking about this woman had 12 years of issue of blood, but these are talking about 12 years of issues people are going through mentally, spiritually, financially. We can use it for all those, not just the physical body. Yes, there are people that need to be healed physically, but there are some people that need to be healed mentally. From things that happen in their childhood, from things that happen in a divorce, whatever. Just touch the hem of his garment so that you can get healed. Don't go into 2022 not healed. Let's read this here. It says here, let me get these eyes. I don't know why I'm playing. He kept looking around to see who had done it. Jesus would not allow the woman to recede into the crowd without publicly commending her faith and assuring her that she was permanently healed. Now, you know what? Let me read that again. I'm going to read that again for somebody else that need to get this. Jesus would not allow the woman to recede into the crowd without publicly commending her faith and assuring her that she was permanently healed. Now, how many of us need to be permanently healed from them daddy issues, from sickness in our body, from our mental issues of dealing with people downplaying us all our life, dealing with our finances, knowing that we have the power to gain wealth. We think we're doing it, ordering in God's steps, but it's not happening. So God said, I need your faith to know that you're permanently healed. That means permanently it's over. It's done. You won't have to struggle with this no more. I'm believing God for 2022 that this is going to happen. When we have faith in him, he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to permanently take care of this situation. You will never deal with this diabetes again. You will never deal with this disease again. You will never be broke again in your life. You will never have nightmares again and be mentally tortured by what someone did to you as a kid. The issues of life will weigh you down, and they are weighing down our people. Even the people of God, the people who say they trust God, they love God, they are allowing the issues of this world to weigh them down. And we have got to stop and trust him. Grab a hold, touch the hem of his garment, and be healed. Today, right now, stop trusting this world. Get off social media looking at what they're talking about. Get out the news. Not saying don't watch the news at all, but don't let that consume you, because these people lie too on the news. People lie to make news. Some of it is true, some of it is not. That's why you have to pray and say, God, take them out of me what I don't need to hear and what's not real. Come on. It's time to be healed. Permanently. Permanently, like he said. Let me get this other Bible here. I want to read this one here. Okay? I don't know why I'm playing. This says, this woman has seemingly incurable condition causing her to bleed constantly. This may have been a menstrual or a uterine disorder that would have made her ritually unclean. You know how you going through some stuff and people be like, I don't want to hang with her. I don't want to be around him because this, and this. That's cool. Let them do that. But let God heal you and you give it to the right people. Let me put an example. Let me make it practical for somebody who may not get it. God has told you that you are supposed to go to school in criminal justice. I'll just use that. But your family telling you, no, go to school and be a teacher. You can always have that. Teaching will always be here, this and that. You go into teaching unhappy, not wanting to do it. God is saying, do what I told you to do, because I'm going to use you in this arena. But you go and do what everybody else tell you to do. Now you're depressed, you're unhappy, you're not fulfilled. Now you're looking at other things to fulfill that void because you didn't do it God's way. And you suffer all these years till one day you say, I'm going to go back to school and go into criminal justice because that's what God wanted me to help people in the juvenile system or whatever it may be. You don't know. I've always known, okay, let me tell you this. I'm going to tell y'all this story. You know, I got a book coming out to talk about this. God always has called me to be an encourager and an evangelist for years. But I ran from the calling. I didn't want to do that. Don't want to do it right now. I'm going to be true with you. But I have to obey him now because I realize he's going to keep taking me in these circles so I do what he wants me to do. So I didn't do that. And I kept going on and on. But God kept putting me in different jobs. People thought I was just changing jobs to be changing jobs. It wasn't even that. Every job I learned something from. And every job I ministered to somebody. That's how I knew. When I finally accepted the call of being an evangelist in 2010, I said, I'm going to do it because I felt like I've been doing evangelism. Everywhere God put me, I didn't even have to tell people that I was a Christian. I didn't put Bibles around. I didn't do any of that stuff. I would have people come and tell me, can you pray for me, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, how you know I pray? Because I just live my life. It's my lifestyle to serve Jesus. I don't care what you think. When you serve Jesus, you can serve him. That don't mean you have to be in church every Sunday, okay? Even though I was, but you don't have to be. So I did it finally his way. But even though I understood this, I understood the assignment more, so I wasn't as frustrated. Like if I get a job and there's something going on, like, I got laid off before, so things happened, I had to quit a job or whatever. But when I look back over it, every single spot he put me in, I learned from it, something I can use practical in my life to help other people, and I got to minister to people. Not even just putting it out there like, I'm going to tell you about the Bible. I'm going to tell you, none of that. You got to know when God is putting you in a certain position. That woman was in that position for 12 years. Was God trying to keep her from something that was going to harm her even worse until he was ready to heal her? Or was he trying to mature her so that when he healed her, she would go and tell other people, God healed me? Is God keeping you in a certain situation or keeping an illness on you because he needs that thorn in you so you can continue to come to him? So when he heals you, you won't go back and say, oh, I'm so glad that doctor did that for me. No, you won't say, I know God did it. I know God did it. Let me read this here. She desperately wanted Jesus to heal her, but she knew that her bleeding would cause Jesus to be unclean under Jewish law. Stop thinking about what other people are saying and what they believe in and all this, and trust God, okay? She could have been healed probably a long time ago, but she was going off what these Jewish people were saying, and she couldn't touch nobody. If she touched him, still the woman touched out by faith and was healed. Sometimes we feel that our problems will keep us from God, but he is always ready to heal. We should never allow our fear to keep us from approaching him. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I just got through saying it. We can never let our fear of what people are talking about keep us from our blessing, from our faith. See, what we're doing now, how do I say this? Our world's going to hell in a basket, okay? Because it is so many people out here living the way they want to live. And when you talk about being a Christian and talk about God, they tell you, oh, you still following that white man's Bible? I don't think Jesus was white. If you look at where he came from and the part of the country he was in, he had a little color on him. A whole lot of people in the Bible had color on them. So we're not doing no white man's thing. We're just doing a God thing. I'm so tired of hearing that. And then people just messing up their lives because they listen to that mess. Stop. Seek God for yourself. Just be like, Holy Spirit, give me an understanding so that I can be healed. You need to trust and have faith in God. And I mean the true God, Jesus Christ, the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Stop letting this world pull you off track. This woman was off track all these years because she listened to Jewish law and not God. Do you know how much we could not suffer for certain things if we trust God first instead of listening to other people? You could be healed mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. Your marriage could be healed. Your children could be healed. Your job could be healed. Yes, God is going to keep you in some things because he needs to, because he needs you to continue to come to him in prayer. And then when he does heal that thing, he wants you to make sure he gets the glory in it. I can tell you, even in my children, I've prayed for some things for them and it don't seem like it's doing it. When I be like, Lord, but don't let them leave this earth until they saved. Make sure they saved and they know you for themselves. Yes, I took them to church. Yes, I told them about the Bible, but they need to know you for themselves. And where this world is taking them out here, Lord, I need you not to let them get too far out there. You keep praying that. It may not happen overnight. It may not happen in 10 years. It may take your child 10 years to get saved. They may have to go through some stuff. They may be with the wrong crowd. She may be with the wrong man. He with the wrong woman. And you don't like it. But you know what? You keep praying. I'm going to tell you what I do with my kids. When they date somebody I know is a setup by the devil, I'm going to lift that person's name in prayer. I ain't going to talk bad about them. I just tell them, okay. They coming over and stuff. Yeah, okay. While they sitting there. And I'm going to tell you how people know your spirit. I'll be sitting there praying on them. While they sitting there in my house, I'm be like, yeah, I know you the devil, but you know. And then when I know certain people coming, you pray over your house before they get there so they know they can't stand it. And they ain't going to stay long. It may take 5 months. It may take 5 years. Sometime to get people out of your kid's life. But if you keep the faith and you trust God, he'll do it. Because sometimes you got to grow your children up. Just like he did you when you was with the wrong person. Let's not even go there. Some issues in your life are going to ruin your life if you don't get it together quickly. This is the year to do it. God is doing some suddenlies, some miracles. And I'm telling you, get your life right. Because a lot of things you're doing are going to ruin your life. A lot of people go to church every Sunday and they're not healed. Get healed for real. That next sermon you listen to, really apply it to your life. Don't just look at it, clap your hands in the sermon, raise your hands, and walk up out of there and do the same thing. Apply this sermon to your life. Read that Bible for yourself. You weak, you miserable, you sick, you pretending, you putting on a mask, doing all these things for people of the world. When if you just trust God and you have faith in God and touch the hem of his garment, touch his cloak, he can heal you quickly. And not in the quickly like you think. I ain't saying it like that. He gonna heal it in 5 seconds. He did that woman like that quickly, but she had been suffering for 12 years. You have to learn the lesson in what you're going through. And then he can heal. Okay? Remember, you looked everywhere else for a healing like this woman did. And she finally said, I'm going to go to Jesus. I'm telling you today, leave everything else behind in this world. Social media, all that. People you were hanging with for years, then they ain't even got a healing for themselves. Sometimes you got to separate yourself from people. Family, friends, you love them, but you love them from a distance, and get yourself together. So everybody can't go with you. You know what we try to do? We want our best friend, our family and all that. Oh, if I'm going to go forward, I want them to go with me. But they're not ready. Some of them not ready to be saved. Sometimes you got to step out on your own. You got to separate yourself from them. You can't be around them. You got to go to church by yourself. You got to marry a saved man or a saved woman. And they're like, oh, you married that one? Yes. Because I need a healing for my life. And I need to follow God so that I can have peace and joy. Not just happiness, because happiness can go away, but peace and joy. And when you do that, then maybe they can start looking at your life. And then things could change and they'll follow it. Let me read this here. Jesus was not angry with this woman for touching him. He knew she had touched him, but he stopped and asked who did it in order to teach her something about faith. What is God trying to teach you about faith today? What is it you're going through that he's trying to teach you about your faith today? That if you have faith in him, look at here. Although the woman was healed when she touched him, Jesus said her faith caused the cure. Genuine faith involves action. Faith that isn't put into action is not faith at all. I can end it right there. Faith is putting it into action. Without faith, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. You got to put it into action. You got to say, Lord, I trust you. Okay, you want God to bless you with a job. Lord, I'm going to do all these applications until you open the door for which one it is. You need a new car, your car breaking down, whatever. I'm going to go look at these cars, Lord. You tell me when to let me apply for the job. Apply for the car. I'm going to go to these different car lots. Let me know when you want me to apply. You don't want to apply at all of them. Messing up your credit. Just know that I need to do it his way. I need to have faith in him and what he said to do. Also, when God said putting into action your faith. See, she put it into action. She had faith. I know Jesus can do it. He didn't heal everybody else, and I know he going to heal me. I just got to get to him and touch him. That's that action. That action. Putting it into action. Having faith that he can do it. Don't worry about what nobody else says. Don't worry about it. They saying this ain't gonna happen for you. I already tried that. It didn't happen for me. They didn't have your faith. They didn't have your faith. You have to go forward and do it. Let me read this here. There's another point I wanted to make here about her. Let me look at this other Bible here. It says here, healed can also mean saved. This is the Greek, in the Greek. How many of y'all need to be saved today? You really need to be saved. This is 2022, another year. If you survive this to 2022, you better praise God and say, thank you, Lord. Because a lot of people ain't made it from 2020 up until now. I've known so many people that passed away just up until now in the last 2 months. Gone. Saved can mean, healed can mean saved in the Greek word. Okay? Some of us need to really be saved and be saved for real. Stop playing games with God. You need to get saved. You need to tell him, I want you to be the author and finisher of my faith. I want you to control my life. I will do what you tell me to do. I'm going to follow you, and I'm not going to follow nobody else. And you need to really give your life to God and get saved this time. It says right here, spiritual salvation, go in peace. That's what God said. The combination of physical and spiritual healing occurred with her. He said, be freed of your suffering and go in peace. That was spiritual healing, and physical healing happen together. Some of us need some spiritual healing. We need some spiritual healing. We need to be healed in our minds. And we need to tell God, I trust you with everything. I will never doubt you again. I'm going to do it your way, Lord. You need to be healed and set free. You need to find peace in Jesus Christ. And I'm here to tell you, all you got to do is say, Lord, I need to be healed. I want to be healed. I want to be saved. You want your family saved. You want people saved that you love. Just go into prayer and say, save me, Lord. What is it that I need to do? Block out everything else. Sometimes you need to get by yourself just to get in prayer and block out everything else. And say, God, I need you. I have faith that you died on the cross. I have faith that you love me. I have faith that you can do whatever you need to do for me to live the life that you told me to live here on earth. And everything ain't about money, but it is about money, because you need money to help people. If you can't help yourself, you can't help nobody else, because God put us here to help others. But he put us here also so other people can see our faith and see what we do in our lives. And they can get saved that way. So I just wanted to give you that today. Mark 5:25 through 32. Know that you may have an issue. You may have had an issue for years, 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, like this woman. But when you finally have faith and put it into action and tell God, I know Jesus can do this. He's going to do it. He is going to heal you. And I said, it's not just COVID, diabetes, blood pressure, heart trouble, whatever. It's not just those. It's spiritually, mentally, financially. Have faith in all that. All right, guys, my time is almost up, okay? I'm Evangelist Carmeline McRoy. You can look on our website. We're still under construction. We have a website coming out for Lighthouse Ministries. Also, I need to tell you that we're going to be starting a Daniel fast from January the 9th through the 29th. If you want to do the Daniel fast with us, with the ministry, we all need to go into some serious prayer and fasting for this year to get on the right track. Make sure you sow your seed at your church home, wherever it is. If you want to sow with us, you would cash out $Evangelist C. McRoy, MCROY. You can do that, but make sure you sow your seed for the year. That's one thing I learned from growing up through the years about sowing your seed on the first of the year to bless the rest of your year. And I'm telling you, when you have faith in God, and you say, God, I have faith, this is money I'm giving back to you, because he gave it to you. You only had to tithe 10%. He giving you 90. When you sow that seed and your tithes, he gonna bless your year. And tell you and say that, Lord, I don't ever want to be broke another day in my life. Because God didn't put us here for the saints to struggle. We get ourselves in that trouble by listening to the world. Stop telling people, I don't want tithes so that church can be rich. That's not what it's about. If they mess up the money, that's on them. But you did your part. You had faith in God, and you put it into action, and you sowed that seed. You paid your tithes. And God blessed you to do that. And I'm telling you to do that right now. Again, this is Lighthouse Ministries. Great day. I will see you guys next Thursday. Like I said, we'll have our website up. We're going to tell you how to get in touch with us. We're Lighthouse Ministries on Instagram and Facebook is Lighthouse Ministries 0920 on Facebook. Instagram is light_house_ministries on Instagram. You should see the post right there. Make sure to get in touch with us. Make sure that this year we're going to start a prayer line, so we'll be able to pray for you, because we all need prayer. We got to stay in prayer. It's some trying times. The book of Revelation is unfolding itself right in front of our eyes. Right in front of our eyes. You don't believe it? Keep living. Read that word. You're going to see Revelation is unfolding in front of our eyes. Stop letting the issues of this world weigh you down. Remember, God got you. God got you. He loves you. He cares for you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it but have faith and put it into action. I'm Evangelist McRoy, and I just want to tell you to remember to always walk with God, and you will find peace and be blessed. Again, have a great day. Thank you, and be blessed. God loves you.